Behind the fences here at ConQuest Deer Farm, you're going to find the best whitetail herd that's creating the best scents in the hunting industry. But what makes ConQuest scents unique is we own our own deer herd, and we collect those scents from those deer, and then we manufacture it right here on the farm, and we ship it from the farm directly to you. Welcome back to ConQuest Deer Farm, located in Davison, Michigan. You know, we've been blessed to be able to raise some of the largest typical whitetails in the deer farming industry, world record class whitetails. And from that herd, we've also been able to produce and collect some of the very best scent that has ever been found in the hunting industry. By owning our own deer, we're very unique. Most of the larger scent companies don't own any deer. They have to purchase their urines. With ours, it's collected, it's manufactured, it's packaged, so it becomes much fresher. We have much more control over what happens with it, and we know that it's more effective out in the field. Well, this morning we're going to actually start kind of like what we consider phase 2 on the farm. We're going to start de-antlering the yearling bucks. Now, let me explain why. So, if you take a young teenage group of boys, at that age, they like to start to play fight. They like to kind of roughhouse. But there's always the one that goes a little too far. There's always the bully in the group that wants to push everybody around. Well, the same thing happens in a group of yearling bucks. Now, we've got between 30 and 40 of these in one area. So we're going to dart each one of them. We're going to cut the antlers off, all the ones we're not going to breed with, and then we're going to put the ones we're going to breed with back into the breed pens. But it's just because one of them is going to accidentally injure another one, or it's going to hit somebody too hard and it's going to make another one angry and it's going to retaliate. And then all of a sudden you've got this fight on your hands where they're going to get injured or they're going to kill each other. So if we take the antlers off and just leave 1.5 to 2 inches of antler on their head, they can still play fight, but they have no tines to poke holes in each other. And so it's just for their own safety. We get to look them over, we get to worm them, we get to vaccinate them, check their feet over, just make sure they're in good condition before they go into the fall and winter, and then we'll see them next spring when they grow a new set of antlers. Now here's what's interesting about hard antler. When antler is in the velvet, it actually is very sensitive, has a lot of feeling, tremendous feeling actually. But in hardhorn, once they shed their velvet, they actually do not have any feeling whatsoever in it. So you can actually cut the antler off. Now we're going to leave, like I said, that little knob of an inch and a half. And all the blood and arteries that actually created it are gone. So it's just calcium, hard bone. Doesn't hurt them a bit. Little set of rattling antlers. So where the dart hit this yearling buck was on a leg, and it actually opened it up a little bit. Not bad, it's already done bleeding, but we gave it some dexamethasone, which is kind of a steroid for inflammation, to keep the inflammation down in. We're going to pack it with antiseptic salve, kind of fill the hole a little bit. That way nothing gets in it and it heals from the inside out. Just a Little precaution. Well, this morning we're going to actually start phase 2 on the farm. We're going to start de-antlering the yearling bucks. So we're going to dart each one of them. We're going to cut the antlers off, all of the ones we're not going to breed with, and then we're going to put the ones we're going to breed with back into the breed pens. So this is one of the yearling breeder backups. If something happens to the main 4, one of those main 4 that we're going to breed with this fall, he'll get put in place of one of them. So we're going to leave his antlers on for right now, put him in a different pen until we get closer to the breeding season, make sure everyone's good and healthy. So not a bad looking yearling, nice typical frame. He'll blow up at 2. So this little yearling actually somehow injured his toenail. You'll see how it's going up compared to everything else is nice and smooth and even. So it's just like us. I mean, they could have stepped on something, they could have stubbed it on something. For some reason it got injured and now it's bent up, just like we'd injure our own toe or our fingernails. So we're gonna actually trim this back. Kind of important though is you got to make sure that you can find the cuticle so you don't cut into it. So I want to clean the bottom of it, just using the edge to get the dirt out of it and find out. So we're just going to take this little end off. It should go right there. That's it. If we didn't take that off, that would continue to grow just like our fingernails or toenails, but it would keep going up and up and up and potentially cause more problems for the yearling. Okay. Keep swinging. Good. Well, one of the favorite things that I like to do actually early pre-season is make some mock scrapes. I want to start getting those bucks to come to areas that I want them to come to, not where they want to go. I've got my hunting blind right here in front of me. We've got this long, narrow food plot down through the middle of the woods, and just on the left side is a little creek bed. Right over here, we got the farmer's cornfield and the edge of the woods, and so there's another travel corridor. So right here in front of my blind, kind of off to the end where I know all the deer have to come around this corner, either into the woods or in the evenings out into the cornfields, I want to make a mock scrape. Okay, now that's where the ScrapeMaker comes in. What's so unique about this tool is that it has all 4 parts that you need to make everything authentic, not only in your scrape, but in your surroundings. The 2 prongs work just like the hooves of a buck when they go to paw the scrape out. We then have a serrated edge. That is to simply rake the licking branch and kind of tear it up like a buck's antlers would. Then on the other side is a very sharp, smooth edge, so be careful because it can cut you. But this makes rubs on small trees around the area. And you want to do this about 3-4 foot off the ground. What it does, bucks from a distance see those and realize that a new buck is coming into the area, and they want to come over and investigate, and what are they going to find? Your new mock scrape. The last thing, oversized hoof print. It's very important that it's oversized. The dominant bucks in the area definitely know the different sizes in not only the footprint, they know the difference in antler size. They also even know the difference in the lower vocal of grunting by dominant bucks and immature bucks. So by putting an oversized hoof print, it makes them more aggressive at wanting to take that mock scrape over. So now that we have the entire environment, the scrape set up, we have the rub set up, the licking branch set up, now it's time to add the scent. So we add rutting buck into the scrape. Another great scent that ConQuest Scents has is called rutting buck. Now rutting buck is a testosterone or competition scent. And hunters have to understand that when you put this out, you are actually putting another buck into another buck's area, and they're competing for that territory for breeding rights. Now we use younger bucks, therefore, no matter where you're using it, older deer and the same age deer bucks can be more aggressive towards it. If we use our old mature bucks, we would scare a lot of the younger bucks away. So we use our younger bucks, so all of them are attracted at trying to push that buck out of the area. So now that we have the scrape and the environment set up, we're going to put the rutting buck scent into the scrape. Those wax little particles will stay there for probably 4 or 5 days and let scent off. We now need to put Evercomb, the #1 scent, up on the licking branch. We have rutting buck in the scrape, and that's the competition scent. So we now have the complete blend. This scrape should be taken over within at least a week, maybe 5 days, right in front of my tree stand where I'm going to hunt. Now, if you're looking for a combo in the early season, I would strongly suggest our rutting buck pack, which is Evercomb and rutting buck. Here's why. Again, Evercomb, putting it in the area where you're hunting creates a herd of deer in that area, but now you've just put a new buck into that area. So it becomes a competition for the bucks that are there to push that buck out. So by combining those two, even over a mock scrape, becomes very, very effective. So that's our rutting buck pack. Hi everybody, Doug Roberts here from ConQuest Scents, ConQuest Deer Farms. I want to talk to you about our aerosol bombs that have been out for the last couple of years. We've made a couple changes. Now one of them you're going to see right here, it says do not shake. Now the reason we don't want you to shake is because all of the good product, all the scent is down here in the bottom. And there's a tube that goes all the way to the bottom. And what we've done is we have nitrogen at the top, and that's the pressure that pushes that down. So when you spray it, you're actually getting all the scent out. And then what we've also done is we've changed the nozzle to get more of the product coming out as it spins, it actually atomizes it and it sticks better to the product that you do spray it on. Again, as you see the new aerosol bombs coming out from ConQuest Scents, you're going to see the Do Not Shake label on it. You're also going to see the new top. So let's talk about making a mock scrape using the ScrapeMaker. Once we have that scrape made and we have everything set up in the environment, we want to actually spray Evercalm up on the licking branch, and we want to saturate the ground with a rutting buck. Now this is early season, and by saturating that, it becomes really strong and it stays there for a length of time. Now we transition into kind of the pre-rut and the rut. When the does are ready to come into heat, and they are in heat, now you want to transition to the certified estrus and again the Evercalm. Refreshen your mock scrapes, refreshen the scrape lines that you're using, and I would saturate the ground around that with certified estrus, and it'll bring all those deer right out in the front of you. Hi, my name is Doug Roberts from ConQuest Scents and ConQuest Deer Farm. I want to introduce you to a new product that we're coming out with. It's called ThermaPads. Now I understand you're all thinking that there's wafers out there that are scented, and that's true. This is different. These ThermaPads are actually scented with real scent, Evercalm, Rutting Buck, and VS1, and they can be hung on branches throughout the season anywhere in your hunting area, and it simply emits the scent out. And they're 100% biodegradable, so if you forget them or lose them in the woods, no worries. It simply turns into dirt and falls away. Here's what makes it very unique and makes it a different category. You can also heat these in butane heated scent dispensers, and they can be heated all season long. But what's really good about this is they can be heated in cold weather. That's the one thing the hunting industry's really struggled with. How do we get scent out into the wind in cold temperatures? Well, ConQuest Scents has just fixed that problem for you. As it works and as the scent emits out of it, it simply loses its color, and you know when to replace the ThermaPad. Look for it at conquestscents.com on our website. Let's take it out into the field now, and we'll show you all the different ways that we feel ThermaPads can be used. When we're talking about the new product that ConQuest Scents is coming out with, the ThermaPads, what makes the ThermaPad very unique is that they can be put in butane heated scent dispensing devices. I want to show you a couple new ones that'll be coming out on the market. This one is a lithium rechargeable battery unit. Now there's a little button here, if you hold it down, you'll see that there's a bunch of little red lights that come on. And we can simply slide the ThermaPad in it, up there. But what makes this unique is that it can also be used and worked by remote. So when I go to push the on button, those little lights will actually turn green. And then I know it's heating, and then I can put it on pause, so I can start and stop it from up to 40 yards away from my tree stand or my blind. The other thing you'll notice, it's quarter thread on the bottom. So you can actually screw tripods onto it, camera arms onto it, and get it up off the ground or hang it from trees and branches. The other unit that I want to show you is a butane heated scent dispensing unit. Again, simply slide the ThermaPad into the top, but what makes this unique is you fill it yourself as a hunter, and you simply push it in, get it in there, push it down, and you refill it and recharge the unit as needed on your own while you're hunting. You simply take the switch, turn it on, click it, it ignites, and you'll see the flame right in here underneath. And this is heating all the time until you run out of propane or lose the color in your pad, and you know the scent is used up. Again, this can be quarter threaded. So again, we can take and we can screw things onto the bottom of it, such as that. Now this is actually a stake that'll go up to 40 inches. I can stick that in the ground anywhere I want in my hunting area to attract deer to this spot. When we started selling VS1 and Evercalm, We were nothing more than a small family deer farm. We put in so many long hours that we started to wonder, would it even be worth doing? During the recession in the late 2000s, hunters started to realize just how well EverCalm really worked. From does to bucks, they were filling their freezers while they're losing their jobs. This is why EverCalm is more important than ever. EverCalm brings in more deer with ease, giving you the opportunity to harvest more deer. And this means a freezer full of food for your family. You have believed in ConQuest Scents, and we believe in you. From our family here at ConQuest Scents, we want to truly thank you for your support, and we wish God's blessings on you and your family as you go through this fall.